Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Gabriel, just on Fan TV. Back at you on the video. Like the content of this video, go ahead, smash that like button. Like the content of this channel, go ahead, hit subscribe, man. If you new here, you like NFL talk, football talk, hearing about the Baltimore Ravens and everything that's going on like that, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We got content coming for you pretty much on a daily basis, man. So look, today we're gonna talk about. I know you see the title, Lamar Jackson's contract, right? Now, genuinely, I haven't talked about Lamar Jackson's contract like this for a video sake for a little while, just because it's a literally an exhausting topic to talk about. Especially when there's no new information, it's just speculation. He's gonna go here, there, wherever, right? But this is kind of new information that you've been hearing the last couple of days, that he has a cutoff date in mind, right? I don't think he ever officially said it, but it's kind of been insinuated that the cutoff date is when the season starts, right? So week 1 versus the Jets, or probably the week leading up to that. You got to prepare for the game and everything like that, right? And that's good to me, honestly. So I'm gonna talk about Lamar Jackson, the contract situation, from a couple different angles. But first, we're gonna start with Lamar Jackson, right? I think that him giving that date is a good thing. He can focus, he can lock in on the season, don't have to worry about that, because obviously he's negotiating literally. Him and Eric DeCosta, he said this. Lamar Jackson said this. Him and Eric DeCosta, they're in Eric DeCosta's office. They're talking numbers. That's literally how it's going down. So nobody in between. It's a face-to-face interaction. That's how it's going. And I think that given this cutoff date, while it's also a good football thing, it's a good negotiation tactic as well. Because now you're putting the Ravens under pressure to say, hey, look, you got until this date, November 4th, whatever it is. After that date, we're done. I'm not talking about this anymore. Now the Ravens have to put him on the field, not knowing whether or not, he's going to be the quarterback of the future, right? Now, obviously, the Ravens can still say, well, we'll just wait the season out. Obviously, they can franchise tag him for a year and, all of that kind of stuff. But I think for right now, it's a good negotiation tactic, and also it's just good for Lamar Jackson as far as his football. Now, as far as his contract that he's seeking out, if I was Lamar Jackson, I'm not, obviously. I saw what Deshaun Watson got, and Lamar Jackson has said multiple times he's his own man. He's not focused on what other people got. And all that sounds good, and that's great. But it will be hard for Lamar Jackson to walk away with Deshaun Watson having all these cases, with Deshaun Watson not being as good of a football player as Lamar Jackson, if we're just being completely honest. He doesn't have, the regular season or playoff success, okay? And not getting a fully guaranteed contract of some sort, even if it's $232 million. Fully guaranteed, just something that's above what Deshaun Watson got. It'd be hard, I think, for Lamar Jackson to walk away without that, or something that, say, the contract is $240 million and guarantee $230. I don't know. I'm just saying it'd be hard for him to walk away from a contract where the guarantees isn't extremely high. Okay, and that's understandable. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, top 5 for me easily. He could be higher. If you put him higher, obviously I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to argue with you about that. So for Lamar Jackson's angle, I get it. Negotiation tactics, saying, hey, this is the cutoff date. Also gets to lock in on football, because there's really been no holdout talks for Lamar Jackson. He wants to play ball. And I just think that it's a focus thing, So Lamar Jackson he's playing it well, right? If he would have signed a contract early, he would have lost out on a lot of money. And since he's waited, he's been patient. All he's done is gain money. That's it. That's all he's done is gain money. So for Lamar Jackson, the contract negotiations is really going about as well as he can expect, honestly. It's really going really well until he gets that deal, that number that he wants. He's in the driver's seat, no doubt about it. Now, from the Ravens perspective, Eric DeCosta, right? EDC. I agree with about, let's say 85% of the things you do, I've liked as the Ravens GM, right? 85, 90%, right? High percentage. There's only a couple of small things that you do that I don't really agree with, right? I think you're a good general manager. I think you know what you're doing, right? But the Ravens haven't really been in this situation with you, right? When it was Joe Flacco's time, that was Ozzy's team. Now this is your team. This is your signature move right here, all right? Now, I know you got people in your ear, probably like Bashotti, saying, fully guaranteed deals. I don't know about this and that, da. But DeCosta, you got Lamar Jackson coming to you directly. So if y'all having face-to-face meetings, that means the number he has is probably pretty clear. Now, I know obviously when you work with agents, you could throw in different little incentives and things like that to try to make the agent feel good, and the agent could try to sell it to the player, and the player be like, okay, well, if my agent says this is a good deal, then yeah, I'll do it. That's not the case for Lamar Jackson. He's representing himself. So any kind of, general manager tricks or whatever that you're trying to throw in there, it might not be working. I'm just assuming things. I'm not saying that's what he's doing, right? So if you're the Ravens, you got a quarterback in here that's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, MVP. Apparently, you all believe in him, right? Stop dragging out the deal, okay? Talk to Bisciotti, because I'm sure that's what the issue is, right? Steve Bisciotti's a good owner, but Deshaun Watson and the Browns, they pissed off a lot of people when they did that fully guaranteed contract, right? They pissed off a lot of folks. Now, hey, you talk to Bisciotti and say, hey, look, man, this is the number Lamar Jackson wants. This is the number that he's coming to my office. This is what he's saying. And they're saying that if we don't do this, then, we'll have to wait until next season and see what happens. The number is the number. The price is the price. And from the Ravens' perspective, the price is only going to go up. When Lamar Jackson has the season that we all expect him to have, you're going to be paying for him at a discounted rate right now. Because if he has the season that we expect him to have, the money's only going to grow. It's only going to get larger. So lock in, get it done, right? That leads me into the third perspective. The NFL owners. Like I said, the NFL owners were pissed when Deshaun Watson and the Browns agreed to that fully guaranteed contract. Because of the precedent that is set, I think NFL owners were more at ease once Kyler Murray signed his contract and it wasn't fully guaranteed. They figured that, okay, maybe we're back to normal. But the issue with that is that Lamar Jackson is better than Kyler Murray and Deshaun Watson. So if he was a lesser quarterback, then the Kyler Murray contract could be the standard for sure. Yeah, absolutely. But he's better than both of those guys. So now you're kind of in a bind. Because Bisciotti, he doesn't want to anger his owner friends, right? By giving out another guaranteed deal like the Browns gave to Watson. But at the same time, you can't play hardball so much that you lose out on. Ravens fans, calm down when I say this. Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in franchise history. I know a lot of people love Joe Flacco. I love Joe Flacco. I love what he did in the playoffs. He was clutch, and he won the Super Bowl. I know all of that. He was never Lamar Jackson in any capacity, okay? So now you're losing out a guy that could be. Lamar Jackson has a chance to be Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs. He has a chance to be that kind of importance to this franchise. You cannot let him walk out the door because of pride. Because of, we just don't want to give a player a fully guaranteed contract. Hey, listen, I get the president. It put you guys in an interesting situation, but it happened. And now we're here now. Yesterday's price ain't today's price. And when the Browns did what they did, it proved that. Now, Lamar Jackson could sign for less and, take the, do the Kyler Murray route. Maybe he gets more on a guarantee side. Maybe he gets $200 million guaranteed on a $240 million contract. Maybe he does that. Maybe he doesn't. But the rumors are he wants a fully guaranteed deal. And why wouldn't he? So now, Bisciotti, as an owner, are you going to say, no, we can't do that because of my principles and things like that? Or are you going to do what's best for the Ravens and get the deal done? I don't want to hear about it's a risk because of Lamar Jackson and the play style and things like that. That's BS. Okay? Lamar Jackson has only ever been hurt inside the pocket throwing the ball, which any other quarterback can get hurt like that. Joe Burrow's rookie season, he got rolled up on by some offensive lineman and a defensive lineman towards ACL in the pocket. He wasn't scrambling. And I've seen Joe Burrow take a lot more hits when scrambling than Lamar Jackson. Watch some of the hits that Joe Burrow takes. I think it was the Bears game last year. He tried to scramble, fight for extra yards, and got clobbered by like 2 defenders. Lamar Jackson don't take those kind of hits. So if you're going to talk about risk, let's be honest. You're not talking about Lamar Jackson. You're talking about the quote-unquote stereotype of how quote-unquote running quarterbacks play, and Lamar Jackson isn't a running quarterback. Nor is he stereotypical in any other way. So throw it out the window. Don't let pride get in the way of what this means for the Ravens franchise. Now, lastly, the last perspective I want to talk about this is new quarterback contracts coming down the pipe. Listen, Russell Wilson has to get paid by the Denver Broncos again. Right? No, not again, but for the first time, okay? His deal came over from Seattle. He has to get paid. Justin Herbert is coming. Joe Burrow, though I just mentioned, is coming. All right? These are contracts where if you let these guys sign in the next offseason before Lamar Jackson signs his new deal or whatever happens, you're going to end up paying more money. Now, if this is about not wanting to pay as much money as the Browns and this and that, you got to get over that. You honestly have to get over it. Because with these new QB contracts coming, you don't think Joe Burrow's going to get a truckload of money? You don't think that Justin Herbert is going to get a truckload of money? Come on now. You got to think. These new quarterback contracts are coming. This is the standard now. These guys are getting paid $250 million. That's just what it is. Don't let your angst or don't let this delay cost you more money in the end, because that's all it's doing, right? If the Ravens would have met Lamar Jackson at his number previously, they probably would have got him for less than what they have to get him for now. Let's just be honest, right? Because the narrative was that Lamar Jackson wanted to wait till the next offseason, wanted to wait till, he went to the Super Bowl. But Shotty said, I think this kid, he's just so focused on winning the Super Bowl that, I'm not sure he wants a contract right now. And, people like me, I believed it because it's, all the reports, Lamar Jackson not talking back and this and that, da. But then Lamar Jackson arrives to mandatory OTAs and says, no, I deserve a contract right now. I'm ready for that. Then he reiterates the same statements, I think a couple days ago, or maybe even yesterday when he had his press conference that, no, I'm ready to sign right now for sure. So that next season stuff, that's on the Ravens side. Lamar Jackson said he's ready right now. So what are y'all doing to meet and match his expectations? Right? Because if we're being honest, you sign Lamar Jackson right now, you're really going to, that $235 million fully guaranteed, it's going to look like a bargain, man. It really is. Because what I expected, what most Ravens fans expect for Lamar Jackson to do this year is ball out and have another MVP caliber season. Better offensive line play, weapons that are here. I'm not going to talk about wide receivers, but there are weapons that are here. And Lamar Jackson is apparently throwing the ball as best as he's ever thrown it. And I thought he threw it pretty damn well last year. So if he's throwing the ball better than that, watch out. You're getting him at a discounted rate right now. Let's be honest with it, okay? And then for me, the biggest indicator of that is these new QB contracts are coming. I keep saying it because it's the truth. Joe Burrow is coming, right? Russell Wilson's new deal is going to be coming, all right? Justin Herbert's new deal, his second contract is going to be coming. Now, you can pay what you owe Lamar Jackson right now, get at a rate that's going to look good when those new QB contracts come out. The salary cap is always rising, all right? And Lamar Jackson, what is he the number one thing for the Ravens right now? Obviously, as far as off the field, he's a ticket seller, man. People come to the stadium to see Lamar Jackson play. He's primetime television. You want that guy in a Ravens uniform. So, to me, I love what Lamar Jackson did. He gave him a cutoff date. It's a good negotiation tactic, as I said earlier. And also, it's just good for him to focus and prepare for the season. All right? Now, EDC, you got a couple of weeks to get it done. Steve Bisciotti, you got a couple of weeks to sign off on the money. Or we're just not going to talk about it again until next offseason. And you guys can franchise him, but you're going to have to pay him what is it, top 5 money on the franchise tag, and then sign him to a new contract, which is going to be extremely expensive. You're going to have to pay him twice when you could just pay him once right now. But that's my take on the entire situation. That's how I view all the perspectives in this. And I hope Lamar Jackson does get signed before the season starts. I can't wait to do that video if it happens. But for now, he gave the Ravens his cutoff date, and I agree with it. It's your boy Gabriel, just on the Fan TV. I'm out.